time ever, welcome to my channel. This will be an introduction to Thoth-tober 2023. So I'm going to try my best to make this video as organized and thoughtful as possible, but to be honest with you, there's so many things to think about, and I feel like I've done as much thinking as I could possibly do, and I just want to get into it and tell you about it. So I had this idea last year, and I've been reading tarot for a couple of years, and I wanted to do a more in-depth study into the Thoth Tarot. However, I kind of missed the window for my Thoth-tober idea, and then life, and then things, and I was like, maybe I don't need to do that type of thing. But then, the summer was coming to an end, and I thought, October is going to come. I should do this idea that I had. I don't know if someone has done this before. Let me know if someone has. I Googled it. I didn't see a lot about it. I don't know if there's any, I don't know. But so I just wanted to do it, and I wanted to document the process, and so I thought it would be really fun to start my channel in this way and share with you how this whole thing goes. So I have a calendar based on, I'm going to be reading Tarot Mirror of the Soul by Gerd Ziegler, because I think it's a really good introductory book to the Thoth. Because I only have 31 days to do this challenge, I thought, I want to start with something really simple. Not simple, but something really condensed and gives me a good well-rounded yet broad view without going into too many rabbit holes. I have dipped in and out of understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot by Lon Milo Duquette. That one just sends me places, and so I was like, let's do Gerd Ziegler, because I like the way that it's written, and I like the way that it's set up, and it just feels really manageable. So that's what I'm gonna do. Unnecessary lengthy explanation as to why. I'm sure you get it. I also do have other books, and I will be dipping in and out of those, but I'll be getting into the calendar in a minute. I also have some Thoth-inspired decks that I want to play with, and I have an entire calendar of how I want to go through the cards and through the book. And so my two main goals are just to read the book and have fun. So I also have some thoughts and guidelines and how I want to do it. And yeah, but the main thing is to play and have fun, because it's just an introduction. It's just 31 days. It's not meant to be all encompassing. It's not meant to be really strict, even though 31 days is a very strict schedule. I thought it'd be fun to do something really challenging. Thoth-tober 2023. So yeah, let's get into the nitty-gritty details. I will show you my calendar. I will show you the decks. I will show you the whole thing, and hopefully it will make sense. Okay, so here are the two things that I have printed out. I have my goals and how it works, and then I also have the calendar that I printed. Let us start here with how it works. So my main goals, as I said, is to read Tarot Mirror of the Soul, to play and have fun. And how it works is pretty much I will be reading the entries in Mirror of the Soul daily, and then I'll be pretty much free to play or not with any of the questions, suggestions, or affirmations, however I want. So with readings, journal prompts, creative prompts, sketches, poems, throughout the weeks. Whatever I want to do is pretty much what I'm going to do. And then I have days set aside to get creative, and these, as though I'm, even though I'm getting creative any day, these are days specifically carved out for me to create readings based on the cards I've read, to do more intentional creative activity based on whatever cards that I want to do. So anything goes. I can just dance a little, find a song. That's an idea that I have, to find music that goes for the cards, or what I'm learning, or something that stuck out to me, or a memory that it makes me think of, anything like that. And then for the break and reflection days, those are days carved out for slow reflection, so I can pretty much just relax, not have to read anything, and just sort of journal, video journal, sit or walk with my reflections. So whatever just makes me feel supported and gives me a much needed, reading break to, rest, relax, reflect, see how it's going, check in with myself. I'll have a opening ritual, nothing, big, just setting up a space, doing an opening reading with the deck, which I've already set aside how I'm going to do it. Not totally sure if I'm going to share that, as some of this I do want to have be a little bit more personal, and I love a good secret. And set an intention, creatively express it in some way because of my background in expressive arts therapy, I just have to do that kind of thing. And lastly, a closing ritual, and that will just be pretty much decide as I go what that's going to look like, because I feel like this is going to be something that develops with time, and so I want to give it the opportunity to become whatever it wants to become. So now let's move on to the calendar. I feel like this is long awaited, piece of information. So as I said, here's the opening ritual, and then we're going to start off on Monday the 2nd with the aces. I wanted to start with the court cards, and I think I started with the aces because I was reading Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot, and I forget what it was exactly that I read, but something just made me want to start with the aces. I wanted to start with potential. I wanted to start with, everything that the aces represent, the everything of the elements, and I just felt like that would be like a beautiful and cool place to start. I didn't want to do the deck in order. I feel like we always start with the majors, always go in order of, majors to minors, court cards, stuff like that. So I wanted to start and kind of break it up in my own way, do something fun with it, and just see how that affects the way that I see the deck. I felt like it wouldn't be fun to start with the Fool and go to the King of Discs. Sorry, Knight of Discs. Got to get that right. Yeah, so I'm starting with the aces and then moving on to the princesses, princes, queens, and knights. And then we'll have a creative day to, have some fun, do something creative. And then we'll have a break and reflection day to sort of chill, relax, reflect on how the first week went. And then we'll get started into the majors. I didn't want to end on the majors as I felt like maybe that would be too heavy, especially as we're getting towards, Halloween, Samhain, that sort of thing. So I wanted to start with the majors after the court cards. So we'll have 3 to 4 majors a day to read. And pretty much I'll just be reading the entries in the book, as I've said. So we'll go from the Fool to the Priestess, the Empress to the Lovers, and so on. I thought it would be really cool, even though it would be unnecessary, to do Friday the 13th with Key 13 and have the Death card be here as its own card. Scorpio is my sun sign, so I have an affinity for the Death card, very much so, and I just thought it'd be really sweet to have it on its own day and perfectly aligned with Friday the 13th. And then we have another creative day on a Saturday. I figured those would be nice breaks, and to have this week of majors be sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say flanked. I don't know why I was going to say dog-eared. That makes no sense. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. And then we'll finish up, go through the rest, and I wanted to end on the Fool once again. I just thought that would be really sweet, especially because the way that I had broken it up, I only had 2 cards on this day, and I was like, No, actually, that's not true. I knew I wanted to end on the Fool. The question was, would I start with the Fool as well? And I decided to begin and end with the Fool and see how, the Fool's journey feels through the Thoth Tarot. And then 2 more days of break and reflections and being creative, and take a much needed break. We are past the halfway point as far as the month. Whew, so it's going to be rough. Pretty much there's no day where there's more than 4 cards is my goal, and plenty of breaks. So it's going to be heavier days. I wanted to pretty much get through it in 3 weeks and have 7 days of not, reading or studying or doing anything like that. I wanted it to be as close to as much breaks as possible. But I didn't want to do 3 weeks straight and a week off to fuck around and play, essentially. I wanted it to be integrated, the play to be integrated throughout the process. So then we'll get to the 2s, as we've already done the aces, the 3s, the 4s, the 5s, the 6s. I didn't know what to put here, and I didn't know what to put here, so I left it blank, decided to be creative, could do some catch up, could do absolutely nothing, which would kind of be like a break reflections, but even less. And then 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, and we'll have these 2 days here to sort of close out the month. And I'll have our closing ritual and see what that looks like. So that is the full calendar. I just want to show you the Mirror of the Soul book and some decks. So yeah. So this is the new edition of Tarot Mirror of the Soul by Gerd Ziegler. I had a digital copy, but I wanted to get a physical copy, and I saw that a new version came out this year, so perfect. So what I like about the way that this book is set up is the amount written for each card. So the majors have a little bit more, so let's just look at the Sun here. It has some key words, and then it sort of talks about the card. And I love, 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 love that every card has these indication, question, suggestion, and affirmation. Love that. But pretty much every card has about a page, 2 pages at most. And so I feel like it's really manageable, and it just feels like such a good introduction to each card. Yeah, I think, you see that? Like, that's just a great amount of information that doesn't feel overwhelming. And especially because we're going to be doing it in 31 days, I felt like for it to be Thoth-tober, I wanted to get the entire deck read and not go into November. Next year, I feel like I'll do it again with maybe a different book, a different approach, and then maybe that one will be, starting in October, so it'll be Thoth-tober, but it won't end. It can go into a little bit of November. My birthday is in November, so maybe we'll end it on my birthday. I don't know. That'll be quite a long time. I'm a little hesitant, but that's a problem for next year, or a question for next year. And so yeah, this is how the book is set up. I'm really excited to sort of play with the indication, the question, the suggestions, and the affirmations. Absolutely, coming up with spreads for the questions, and working with the affirmation maybe in a creative way, journaling. And so yeah, I'm just super, super, super excited. I'll be making a video shortly after this about how I've been prepping, because I don't want this video to be too long. So yeah, that is the Tarot Mirror of the Soul. I'm really, really, really excited to go through the book. As I said, I've read some of it, but I haven't read all of it. And so I'm excited to complete this lovely, lovely book. Okay, so I wanted to show that I have 3 versions of the Thoth. Originally, I had this one, which is the, I think the standard, no. Yeah, this is like the standard size. Let me zoom in a little. Wrong way. I always go the wrong way. So this is the standard size, which I really like. It's in order now, I believe. Yeah, I have it in order. This is usually the one that I study with, because then I got the large version and trimmed it because I think the artwork is so stunning, and I wanted to, free the artwork, see it just in all of its glory. Am I gonna flip through? Anyway, so then I got the large one recently to accompany me on this study, because I just felt like, I can't actually go on, because I don't like it's not that I dislike the borders, because I actually find that I love this version. In the smaller version, it just felt too small to have borders. Like, when you cut the borders off, the artwork is the same size, as the deck. So it's just kind of was a no-brainer to me to have all 3 versions eventually. But yeah, I've been loving. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to work with them. I think I'll probably use this for like pairing and readings, and potentially this one as well, and this one sort of to use for study, or maybe I'll use these interchangeably for the studying and laying out the cards, because I really am enjoying the large size. I don't know why. I didn't think I would, but I do. I really enjoy it. So I'm not going to go through the deck, but I will show you some Thoth-inspired decks, and then some decks that I do plan on pairing. I do think that the Thoth is notoriously hard to pair, as far as I'm aware, as far as I understand from others' experiences as well. But I guess maybe I could flip through as I talk, That would just be a little bit more interesting. It is notoriously hard to pair, but I feel like it might be fun to try it out. And I think I found 2 that are quite good, to be honest. And so I'm hoping that I'm right, and I'm intrigued. I will definitely also be playing with other decks throughout the month, you know, if I have the time, which I'm hoping to have the time. We'll see. But yeah, I think, I don't know. I feel like I keep saying I'm excited, and I just want to show you more cards than just the Thoth, even though it's Thoth-tober, you know. I just figured, you know, I do have other Thoth-inspired decks, so it would be interesting to pull them out and see the differences and similarities and how those cards are depicted. And actually, some of my Thoth-inspired decks are actually my favorite, which we'll get into, yeah, right now. I'll just show you one more. I know you've seen it. I know you've seen it, but yeah, there's my death card just showing up twice because I love it. And indolence and truth, which I said in the intro. I do know all the keywords. I just haven't done the full study until now. So, oopsie. Let's start. Let's get fully familiar, shall we? Let's become buddies. Let's get to know each other. So one of my favorite Thoth inspired or Thoth similar, I'm not sure the right term for that, but is the Haindl Tarot. These are the backs. Here is my vintage version, and here is a trimmed copy, a modern trimmed copy. I usually use my trimmed copy for my most readings, and then I use my vintage copy, which is in such good condition, having been printed in the 90s, which is crazy that that's considered vintage. But you know, I think for a set of cards, I think that works, right? I love this copy, though. I will be honest, because it is so much crisper than the modern version. The artwork is just so much finer and more beautiful, and the cards aren't as, I mean, the colors aren't as like vibrant in like a really sweet way. Like they're nicely muted and gentle. But anyway, so I really love this deck so much, and it's absolutely one of my favorites of all time. And it's never far from me. This one I keep on an altar. And oh, did we just, so let me just show you an example. Yeah, so here's an example. You can see the difference in the artwork here. Let me zoom in. Just, nope, wrong way again. You can just see that this has, you can see the finer line work, and the colors are just muted in a really sweet way. This is a really bad card to show you. Let's move on. But I'll keep it zoomed anyway. The titles are not the exact same, so it's not exactly like a, you know, it's clearly not a clone in any way, but some of the keywords are the same. Like, you know, we have, is that right? Ruin for the swords? Honestly, sometimes I don't do super well. But generally, I do well. I know it pretty well. See, we have failure, peace. I love this high priestess. So lovely. Yeah, I find this deck to be incredibly beautiful, incredibly deep, and it's going to be one of my favorites to just sort of have out as a comparison, as a tool, and as something to play with as I study the Thoth. And I feel like it'll give me more insight into this deck as well, which is really exciting. I have the guidebooks for these. I have not read them cover to cover, but I have read most of them, as I often work with the deck and often work with the guidebooks. So I love this Aeon card. Yeah, the Haindl Tarot is so lovely. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. I love the roots here. And this one is also so sweet when you see these maple leaves. And the layer of I Ching is so awesome, which I'm also still learning. Like here we have mourning as opposed to sorrow, which is, you know, a subtle difference, but a difference nonetheless, which is explained in the guidebook by Rachel Pollack. Oh, maybe the swords is a good example here. Yes. Now, since we're not going to look at Parsifal again and disturb you with his eyes. But yeah, you can see here the difference in the coloration and the line work. This one's just a little bit muddier on the right, a little bit more saturated. And I find this deck to be just a lot more... the one on the left, my vintage version, just to be a lot more pleasant to look at, because it just feels like you can see the artwork so clearly. It's coming up a little bit warm toned here, which I don't think it's as warm toned, but clearly this one is just more vibrant, so the blue just comes across like really, really strong. Anyway, yeah, that is the Haindl Tarot. Next, we have two different decks. Here is the Outgrow Yourself Oracle and Tarot. Here are the backs. And right next to it, we have the Sun and Moon Tarot. And these are the backs. Oh, the backs are very interesting together, huh? Anyway, I thought I'd show these two together because they're both really awesome decks, and I'm trying to speed things up as I tend to be long-winded. So both of these decks are very much Thoth-inspired, or they have the keywords. The difference here, as you probably have seen this deck, the Outgrow Yourself has some oracle card messages. I'm going to be really intrigued to play with those as I go through the month. Two cards that I love, the Aeon and Swiftness. Power is present. I mean, I didn't even think of pairing these two together, but clearly they want to. Sometimes I've been getting away from pairing tarot and tarot, but these might just have to go together. I mean, whoa. Quite cool. Quite cool. I only recently got the Sun and Moon Tarot in a tin. I really wanted the black borders, but, if I end up loving it, which it seems like I will, I might also go for the, is it clear because this deck is a little bit shorter? I don't know. I can't tell from my viewfinder, but I'm just going to cut it down just a little so that way they're a little bit more of the same height. Anyway, yeah, so these are some, are you seeing what I'm seeing? I feel like they're just lining up in such cool ways. Cruelty is the highest pleasure with the devil. Whoa. That is wild. Oh, the devil again with the hanged man. And, they're kind of hanging there. But, this is super interesting. Okay, I guess we're pairing these. Have you ever paired these together? I'm kind of loving it. Don't you find this interesting that these flowers here look exactly like their hair in this one? Oh, and their hair tiara too. Super cool. Ruin and the universe. Burn it to the ground. Find your purpose. With the Six of Wands and success and the Five of Cups and disappointment. Whoa. Guys, I'm actually kind of flabbergasted right now. I'm kind of blown away. Express yourself without limitation. So cool. We have the strife, the Five of Wands here twice, which I have thoughts on, and I will be sharing soon, hopefully. Don't hold me to it. Ooh, this is really cool. I'm kind of loving this. Oh my god, no. It's not the Six of Wands. With six... Oh, did they change the title? I thought Six of Wands was success, no? No, that is the... I'm sorry. That is the Six of Discs, right? Oh gosh. I'm lost. Correct me in the comments nicely, please and thank you. Success is definitely the Six of Coins. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. You saw what I saw. I know you did. Anyway, do you accept yourself fully? That's so cool because I think about accepting yourself fully in order to be in partnership. And it makes me think of my Spirit Keepers Tarot, which has the abyss, looks into the abyss. Abyssum, I don't know the Latin. I'll probably put it on the screen and I'll put a picture of the card. But I think about loving yourself fully and allowing, another person to see you fully as well. Anyway, futility with change. Anyway, I said I would go faster, but I'm clearly just having a really good time flipping through the cards. I hope you are too. But yeah, let's move on. I think I have one more. Yes, nope, I have two more, which I guess I'll show those side by side as well. Okay, so the next two we have are the New Chapter Tarot and the Shrine of the Black Medusa. I haven't said which is indie and mass market. I'm really sorry about that. This one is mass market, and this one is indie. Sometimes hard to get a hold of, but I believe it is still available. I'll do my best to add links to these decks. I've been really reckless with that thus far. Sorry. I'm new to this. Anyway, the New Chapter I don't believe is like, it's been a while since I read the guidebook. I don't actually often work with this deck. I've been hoping there would be a time that we would find our way. I find it difficult to read. But anyway, let's just, flip through. But I don't think it's strictly Thoth inspired, like, or explicitly. There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't think it's explicitly Thoth inspired, but it feels really Thothy to me. So I included it. It's very geometric. As you can see, it has a lot of like interesting line work and backgrounds, and just doesn't give me like Rider-Waite-Smith vibes as much as it gives me Thoth vibes. And this one, I believe, is certainly Thoth inspired, explicitly so. I think this would be a cute, cool pairing too. Funny how I was not planning on pairing these tarots. I have 3 oracles that I was thinking about pairing them with, but here we are putting these tarots together, and they just look quite stunning together. Judgment with the 3 of Wands. Do you see what I mean though with the new chapter? I feel like I've heard other folks say this as well. Ooh, the moon. Yeah. This is really beautiful, actually. I'm kind of really loving this. Let me know what you think about these two together. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Super curious. So yeah, I'm excited to play with these, compare them. Hopefully this will give me a chance to work with the new chapter. I find, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. I find this deck to be really beautiful. The cardstock is really hard to get on with, and so it kind of prevents me from working with it. I think that I've said this, I've said this before, not here, but the way that I describe the New Chapter Tarot and its guidebook is like a deck of depth being treated as a depth of like straightforward and simplicity, when I don't believe that is that. I don't know. I just find that there's so many layers to the art, but like it just has a small guidebook, and I want a full-size guidebook. I want like a full, meaty, chunky thing that really gets into the artwork, that really digs into it, and you just don't get that with the guidebook. So I find that really hard to get on with. Ooh, that is stunning. Anyway, yes, so that is the New Chapter Tarot and Shrine of the Black Medusa Tarot. We'll end here. Yes. These pairings are quite amazing. I'm kind of shocked. Okay, yeah. So the first deck that I believe pairs well with the Thoth, and this is just from experimentation of just sort of playing with pairs, just flipping through the cards, is the Sacred Geometry. What is it called? Sacred Geometry cards for the Visionary Path. Yeah, that's right. I just had to check the book. And yeah, so that is the backs. And there's another version of this deck. It's not a version, but there's a Sacred Geometry cards. I think that's what they're called. And then this is the one for the Visionary Path. I just think since it's Sacred Geometry and you can find a lot of that in the Thoth Tarot, I just find that to be a good match. Like, it's a lot of energy, but I think it just goes really well. Let me know what you think, if you feel like it's a good match. I've written the keywords on here because I found them to be sort of hard to read without the keywords, and I didn't want to have to open up the guidebook every single time. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes this deck will also show me, like, cause me to see things in the Thoth that I haven't already seen. Like, sort of notice a minor detail in the corner or a shape that really didn't call out to me before, you know? So I really like that about it, and I think it just makes it a really good match. I'll probably mostly be pairing it with the trimmed version, but yeah, we'll see. I wanted to kind of see them right here with both of them in front of me and see what I think of it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so curious what you guys think about this matchup, if you have these decks, if you've ever tried this pairing before. Death and Swiftness once again. Is that what we saw in the Outgrow Yourself? I could have sworn we did with Ancient Wisdom, and that's for sure. Yeah. I'm so intrigued to see how these decks come together. I've done a little bit of work with them, but really it's just finding the match is most of all of what I've done. I'm really curious. Ooh, let's see what comes up. Wow. This deck is so mesmerizing, which is kind of exactly what I would say about, isn't that so cool? Coming up with interference here. Sanctuary and interference, refuge, renewal. I mean, it also looks, you know, pretty cool color-wise with the universe. But I just find the shapes to match up really well. Huh. That is super, super cool. Yeah. I'm having a good time, you guys. Ooh, I like this here. This is super cool. I'm loving it. I don't want to stop. I love flipping through decks like this. Isn't this so much fun, you guys? Like, do you have fun like this? This is just a good time. Passion flower between the Princess of Cups and the Ten of Discs with wealth, appreciation, and awareness. All right, we'll leave off on that. I will show you the next one. I think, yeah, like I said, I have two more, and maybe I will try pairing them with another one of the Thoth decks as well. Maybe we'll pull out the bordered one. I just want to have a little bit more fun. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the next deck is the Terra Incognita. Once again, I realized I did not say if the last deck was mass market or indie. It is mass market. The Sacred Geometry cards for the Visionary Path, that is mass market. Okay, so this is the Terra Incognita. This was an indie deck. I'm not sure if it's available. I got it on Kickstarter. But yeah, I find that because this deck is mostly made up of these black and white photographs of plants up close, it has really a shapely feel, and I think that's really a theme when it comes to decks that work well with the Thoth, is if it has like interesting forms and shapes. So yeah, let's see how they come together. And I think the keywords on this go really well with the Thoth, simply because they are very, I feel like they tend to be more like serious, spiritual, which is the vibe I get from the Thoth, you know. So yeah, I wanted to also try it with the sun and moon and see what I think of those. Primordial, so vessel, with the Seven of Cups, I can see that. The guidebook for this is really good for how small. Like, this little white book is really, really sweet. I kind of really love it. So I don't work with this deck often, but when I do, I find it to be very impactful. Let's actually read this one. I'm having a good time right here, and I want to just read. I got this card for a creative project that I was doing, but I don't exactly remember the meaning. I don't know how to pronounce it. Volupte. Sink into and luxuriate in your personal voluptuousness right now by accessing the sensual energy bestowed upon you by the goddess Venus. Tune into the sensual richness in all things, intense erotic pleasure, fulfillment of the senses, and blissful spiritual and sacred experiences intense erotic pleasure, fulfillment of the senses, and blissful spiritual and sacred experiences only add to the deep pleasures you can align with. Tune into your divine feminine side with self-care. Ooh, that's so lovely and interesting with the Hierophant and the moon. How would you read that? I'm curious. This is so beautiful. I'm so glad I'm doing this. This is so sweet. This is going to be a fun month. Oh, I feel like this is getting me so excited. So excited. Kinda loving it. Totem with the Hermit and the Five of Swords. You see those shapes? You see what I mean? Funny, because in the last one, it had a completely different shape, and I felt like did we not see a Five of Swords? And it was really, really cool. Oh, that's an interesting pairing. Debauch with Truce and Foretold. I feel like this could be really great for poetry and storytelling, and some unconscious writing, which is a practice I do with tarot that I originally developed with the Fountain Tarot. I'm hoping to make a video on that, so let me know if you're interested. But yeah, I could really see this working super well for that with the glow. Oh my gosh. This year my card was the Star card, and so I just feel so closely attached to the Star card. And it's the first year that I've really spent the entire year with a birth card and like really paid attention to it. Ah, I love that. Talisman with the Fool. Ooh, and the Knight of Swords, I believe. Oops. Sometimes I get confused, y'all. Illumination. This is lovely. But yeah, we will end it there. Illuminate. Ah, love with interference. Sorry, y'all. I'm kind of all over the place with putting these decks out. But yes, here we have the Mausolea Oracle of Souls. This is a mass market deck. Those are the backs. And I haven't tried this one. I recently cut off the keywords at the bottom, so I have modded this deck. I did edge it in this like really light color to match sort of the color of the line work on the backs, which I really enjoy. But then I cut the bottoms off and I haven't re-edged it. We will get to that this month, maybe. But yeah, I'm already seeing, I really like how they look. But I wanted to try this one with the Outgrow Yourself because I feel like they both have a very intense energy. Maybe I'll switch it out for the new chapter and see how that looks. I haven't tried any with the Haindl because the Haindl just kind of stands alone. I have decks that I pair with it, but you know, maybe we'll try it with the Terra Incognita. But yeah, it looks really nice together, I think. What do you think? Golden Empress. Some of these I feel like maybe the keywords would have been good, but I prefer the titles and the names of the folks to be on there, and I felt like trying to determine whether I was going to use the titles or whether I was going to use the keywords just always made me confused. So I was like, you know what? Just cut them off. Why do you ask what you already know? With the Ageless and Lust. Interesting. I'm kind of thinking of these like as positions. Like what positions would I put them in here if I had Arthur, the Champion of Avalon? What grows in the shade? The Hermit, and the Three of Wands with Virtue, I believe. I shouldn't be trying to say the titles for the Thoth because clearly I'm not very good at remembering them. Stop resisting progress. The Eternal Servitor. These are nice. I feel like it matches better with the OG Thoth than the Oracle, Outgrow Yourself Tarot and Oracle. That's just my opinion at this point. What do you think? I feel like it just looks better over here, but maybe some of them don't. Anyway. Let's do one more quick play. I'm going to... that's a really nice matchup, don't you think? I'm going to bust out... Where is it? The new chapter. And... I'm going to bust out the new chapter. It's so thick, this deck. It is so incredibly thick. And now I'm getting real messy here. Now we're getting real messy here. But I just want to try it. I don't think it's working, guys. I don't think it works. Yeah, I think that's a no. I think that's a no. Yeah, that's definitely a no, right? Like, no. 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 Okay. No. But maybe if we do this, I kind of think that's an interesting contrast. What do you think? That might be an interesting contrast. Now I'm seriously getting these cards all over the place. But I think that might be a good one. Jeez. Thick cards. Yeah, I kind of like this. I think this could work. This could work. Yeah. It's doing something for me. I don't know. I feel like it's like kind of unsuspecting and unexpected. Maybe that's the better word. Not unsuspecting. Unexpected. But works. Like, look at the shape here. And then we have this. It's kind of nice. I see a lot of duality here. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, that's the Mausolea. I'd be intrigued to see How this ends up working out, how I end up playing with these decks, I have no plan. It's going to be a fun play time. Let me know what you would like me to play with. There'll be plenty of time to share your feedback and for me to see it, because this is going to be a month-long journey. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. Maybe I will end on a quick pairing of the Tarot Incognita with the Haindl. I think that would be a sweet pair to try. Don't you? Jeez, I'm all over the place. Okay, yeah, let's see. Just do a few cards. Yeah, I kind of... Oops. Let's zoom. Yeah. I think that's really nice. I think that's really good. Yeah. We've just thrown the OG Thoth out of here, huh? Kind of rude, since this video's about them. Kind of rude. But that's okay. It's plenty of time. Hex. Yeah, okay. Thanks for joining me, folks. That is going to be my Thoth-tober. I'm going to leave on this very interesting and beautiful pairing. I don't think I'm going to turn the camera back around. I'm just going to talk a little bit from here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope this has been coherent. I hope it has made sense. Ultimately, I'm just going to be reading Mirror of the Soul by Gerd Ziegler and going through the Thoth and playing around and having a lot of fun. Sorry, my camera is trying to focus. I'm going to zoom back out. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, pre-evening, evening, whatever you are up to. And I will see you in the next video.